There's no cat, bitch.
Like actual like black people teaching black kids about stuff like anything from growing up to the right things to do to the wrong things to do to every decision that you make today is going to have something to do 10 years from now. It's going to impact some type of way.
Yeah, Malcolm X said something. He said the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So actually in my yearbook in high school. I had that quote for a minute.
Oh man,
man,
No Cat Podcast, man. This is Nisiar Smith, man. I had started, man. I had to let you start naturally, man. I had to let you start
that's
naturally.
Smooth, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was rolling. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So we have Nisiar Smith here. It's so much that I see you doing, but I think the financial literacy part is the key to your whole success. But please let the people know what you are doing in life right now.
So my name is Nisiar Smith, as you just introduced me. I teach personal finance across Philadelphia. I'm the founder of an organization called Well Kept Money. It's an online personal finance community where people of the community are able to be members and to indulge in educational resources, financial education resources and education, along with myself and a bunch of other leaders that I'm connected with across the country.
Okay.
I'm also the founder of Philly Financial Literacy Week here in Philly. I got a resolution last year from Philadelphia City Council and the mayor's office.
Okay.
So I'm like, I eat, breathe, sleep financial literacy. So,
okay.
Everything that I do is about legacy, right? We've been taught photosynthesis, but we haven't been taught how to create a legacy class. So we have a huge issue as to why people don't know. They know the ABCs, but not their RBCs, right? Real estate, business, and credit, which is going to be able to put you in a position to create, generational wealth. And set the tone for your family to really propel and go to the next level.
And some type of sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Or care forgiveness.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about having bills paid every month. That's a little stress that can be taken off. And with that you're doing, I see you said online, right?
Yeah.
But with the online presence, you still made like a presence in the city because I see you around all the time.
So I just recently did online. This is the 21st century. Everything is built behind artificial intelligence and technology, and I wanted to be convenient. Like I still do a whole lot of workshops across the city. Like you're always gonna see me in somebody's like space giving a workshop on anything personal finance. But what I wanted to do for the convenience of people was put myself in a position where people couldn't give an excuse as to why they couldn't show up to a workshop.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So it's online.
Right.
You can plug in from your phone.
Home.
Everybody got all sorts of technology. So I wanted to make it no excuses for why people couldn't really get involved.
Why you can't get this information.
Why you can't get this information, right? Because I always got the, Nas, I can't make it out today because there's, no worries, man. This time around, it's like, what you doing, right? And so that's what made me do the whole shift. And then I recently operated out of a nonprofit called the People's Innovation Movement, which is, people know it as TPIM.
Okay.
But a lot of people didn't know what that meant, right? They was like, well, what does the People's Innovation Movement? It was a very heightened meaning to it, right? Because the way I envisioned it when I created it was the people innovating and moving towards financial freedom.
Right.
So it was a lot of the intellect to like really think about that was just too much, and then people couldn't really pronounce it. So I was like, I got to create something that's a little bit more in
depth, that gets right to the point. Yeah.
Right to the point. People know what Well Kept Money is. When you see the logo, it's like, oh, I know what this is. Right off the bat.
It's crazy because when you say the people innovative, I'm thinking to myself, I know what you're saying. Thinking forward, right?
And you just messed it up too. The People's Innovation Movement. So that's exactly why I did the change.
Right, yeah. But the
Well Kept Money.
Well Kept Money. That's
you already know what that means. Like when you think of it, it's like, Well Kept Money. Well, I know it's going to have something to do with my money, right? Or finance.
Or keeping my
keeping my money well kept, right? So, and for me, Well Kept Money is about keeping your money well kept, and it's not just about creating a budget, but it's also about keeping your money well kept in your family, right? Keeping your money well kept for generations to come,
and your friends, that community around you, that inner circle that you're building. If that money is flowing all around you, it's always well flowing amongst you. So
yeah, absolutely.
So about your workshops, how can someone get information to log on to the workshop, or when is the next workshop?
So here's, again, in the beginning of this, I said that you caught me at a very, very interesting time because I'm in the middle of the transition. So during this year's Philly Financial Literacy Week, I'm actually going to launch Well Kept Money. So people will be able to hop on the platform in October.
Okay.
But in the meantime, right now, I'm not conducting any workshops. But if people are reaching out to me specifically and have an audience and they want me to speak on a particular topic, you know, if the schedule permits me, I'm going out and connecting with folks. Which actually is really, really interesting because I did a big credit event here. I brought Experian and Credit Bureau to Philadelphia.
Okay.
Back in May, and we did a big credit event because they have right now they have Experian Boost going on, and we literally Experian Boost has raised 1 million credit scores in the country, and bringing them to Philadelphia to me was very paramount because that's something that we've been locked out of.
Right.
And if you don't have credit, you don't have access, right? And I'm not going to make everything I do about credit, but it's very paramount because, you know, you're not getting a home, you're not getting the best rates on your auto loans.
Also, all day, all around life, you always getting hit with sign this up, put this name here, sign up for this credit reward card.
Yep.
You use credit, it's going to be like the only way of living soon. Credit.
Listen, you gotta know how to leverage credit in order for you to live a conducive lifestyle that's going to, you know, put you in a position where you don't have to worry, right? Your bills are on autopilot. If I want to go on a trip, I can go on a trip, right? We have so many people, especially in the minority community, that have so much month at the end of their money, right? They're so focused on, you know, the drip, right? And for me, my real drip is having a dividend reinvestment plan, right? How am I going to take my money that I'm earning and turn it into the next thing that's going to continue to stockpile and earn interest and be compounded
and making money for your money.
That's exactly what it is, man.
That's all it is, man.
For me, it's bigger than me, right? It's way bigger than me. What I do is for the culture, right? And I think that people, if they take it serious enough, we can really change the trajectory of like what black wealth is actually going to look like for us in the next 20 to 30 years. So,
especially while we coming from minority to the majority, so that's going to be the biggest thing. Once we be a majority, do we have the wealth to back while we have this population?
Exactly. You know, it's actually really fitting. Like again, like we're sitting in Uncle Bobby's, a black-owned establishment, and
this should be better to start with.
We need to have more. We need to have a whole. I haven't seen a strip in Philadelphia where it's just all black businesses.
No,
a whole strip. I'm talking from bank to accountants to lawyers.
Right.
I'm talking about a whole strip of people. Right. I go into this place in Shelton. It's called H Mart. Right.
Okay.
I was blown away. I was in there with a friend. Right. And you can see the difference in sometimes in people's mentality and mindsets. But we went into the H Mart and he was like, "Yo, this place is crazy." I'm like, "It really is." So I'm blown away. And he was like, "Yo, they got a lot of food." And I looked at him, I'm like, they got a lot of food. I said, "No, did you see the dollar bill that's in this room?"
Right.
They had every business and entity that you needed that they did not. The dollar never left the room. They had a bank, they had a lawyer, they had a doctor, they had a pharmacist, they had their own UPS.
That's a civilization right there.
They had a nail salon, haircut, they had the vet. Everything was in that one building. It's like, yo, I've never seen anything like this for black folks. Like, literally. Like, we're always concerned about, you know, competing about who got the bigger bag, right? How about you put your bag in my bag so we can get a bigger bag, right?
Yeah.
So, we got this competition.
Or competition had to change from within us to what we see outside that we not having right now.
Exactly. That's the competition. The only person you should be competing with is yourself from last year, right? How can I get better? Like, what can I do to transition and change myself? Not about competing with the person that's next door to me. That's I focus on. If somebody was like, "Well, who are you in competition with?" I'm in competition with Nisiar from 2018.
Right.
Because there's some things that I need to work on within myself, or there's some places I need to get to that I wasn't able to get to last year. So, and going into 2020, I'm gonna have the same mindset about this year. I'm gonna look at the overall year and see how well I did and see where I need to make improvements at. But for me, it's you know, again, it's being able to self-reflect and understand what my issues are with money and how to bring that forward.
Okay.
So I was actually been able to connect with the actual. And I'm really, really excited about this particular event. But I was able to connect with, one of two African American males who has his own clinical psychology firm in the city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And we're going to do an event with the mindset and how money plays a factor into it, right? And we're going to get deep on the psychological part because that's something that I'm not tapped into because I'm not licensed in there, right? So it's going to be something. It's going to be transformational. And I think it's going to be very transformational that people are going to like really leave their room with like so much to think about within themselves, and they're going to be able to refresh and hit a refresh on themselves and say, you know what, I gotta do better.
Right, I got the tools now. How can I do better?
Right.
Yeah, that's good because bring money with that social mindset, especially with that's kind of like the biggest thing right now. Everybody on that.
Mind is a dangerous place.
Yeah, mind is a dangerous place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But with the financial literacy, anything else that you're doing in the city of Philadelphia that we should bring light to right now?
Man, anything else in particular? I wouldn't say anything else in particular. But what I will say is to people out there is if you're looking to connect with myself, they can, obviously you can follow me on social media, and don't hesitate to reach out. I'm a very personable dude, and a lot of people don't think that of me just because, like, especially when we're talking about this topic of money, right? It's a very sensitive topic in our community, and people often, associate that with like, oh, you're better than everybody. And it's like, no, I just got to a place where I know how to manage my money, right? I've gotten to a place where I don't allow my money to just go where it wants to go, right? And that's a very foundational thing about just creating a budget. I gotta tell my money where to go, right? Because if you don't, it's going to go.
It sounds simple, but it's hard, like concepts.
But that's why I'm here. I want to be able to create that platform and that space where people feel okay with.
They can share that information with you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do a very good job at making sure that I make people feel as comfortable as possible when I'm teaching these different lessons or workshops or whatever you want to call it. As far as around personal finance and financial literacy, I make sure that I let people know that I'm here as a listening voice. You know how many stories I have to go off of. If I really want to share your business, it's not doing me any good, right? So I really want people to feel comfortable to have these conversations, not just with me, but with your family. Go in the house and find out. Does your family have your grandma has a will?
Right.
Like, if she dies today, how is this house going to be passed down through generations, right?
Right.
We need to worry about, do we have life insurance? Because if not, then my mom would have to do a fish fry, or we're going to have to do a GoFundMe page because we don't have life insurance. Right? These are very, very basic things. And then there's a way right now, right, that a lot of people don't know. That the family, if you got between 10 to 12 people in your family, right? And you got a grandmama in the family that's in her late 70s or early 80s, right? We all know that we all got to die someday, and I'm not saying that we need to push her to die,
right?
But we need to take out $1 million life insurance policy on that person, right? And we all contribute to the payments on that life insurance policy every year, right? Or every month, rather. I'm sorry. So that at the end when it's time for her to go, that $1 million check that's coming, not untaxed, right? Because that doesn't get taxed, right? We take that $1 million and we go start a business, or we go buy a big building to apartment complex to rent out properties, and now we really changed the trajectory of our family and our relationship with money. Because now none of us got to work no more because we now got checks coming.
That's a common thing amongst other colors of race,
right?
But for us, it's a situation of so you just. When you ask somebody older, hey, put this life insurance out for them, you can look at it as saying, hey, that's what you causing me to die soon, or you wanting me to die. It's not that. It's just understand that our life still goes on. That legacy of this family tree still goes on.
When you're gone.
When you're gone. And your remembrance still going to be here no matter what.
Right. But you want to be, as a family,
you want to be somebody.
You want to remember it for leaving a legacy to
an honor, yeah.
I don't want to be known at my funeral just for being a good dude. Like, he was a good dude, man. Yeah, no. Well, what did this good dude do?
Right.
I didn't do anything. I just was a good dude.
You want to change the world.
I want to change. I want to provide a change that we have not had in our history in the last 60 to 70 years, right? All the way back to the Freedmen's Bureau when Abe Lincoln, freed the slaves and gave us establishments with owning our own bank. We had a bank called the Freedmen's Bank that was in Washington, D.C. And we had over $73 million in deposits. lending was going well, and then the federal government stepped in. Obviously, that was doing, segregation. I mean, not segregation. Excuse me. That was doing slavery. So they did a lot of behind the scene things that forced the bank to, go bankrupt. And we haven't been right since, because that set us back 200 years, and now people are not even able. People are not in position today enough today to even think big like that, because we're putting out too many fires in our everyday life, right?
Yeah.
We're worrying about this thing and that thing. It's like those things are taking too much time and attention away from what we need to really focus on.
Yeah.
Stop getting blinded by these things that are trendy, and stay focused on what's going to take you to that next level.
Right. And take your whole family to the next level.
Hey, legacy. It's all about the heirs, man.
Yeah,
we gotta leave things to them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like kings and queens. Before I go though.
Yeah.
I see you married.
No, I'm not married.
You're not married?
No. You putting it out there, my girl.
Man, that's your girlfriend. Oh, my bad. Oh, snap. Damn.
I ain't married yet.
Oh, my bad, brother.
It's
My
all
bad.
good, man. I like that. That's good.
Alright, you're a lady though. I see that you're in a relationship. And I do a relationship podcast.
Yeah.
So I just have one final question. How do you make it work?
That's actually a really great question. So my girlfriend and I, when we first met, I made it a point of emphasis because of where I was in my life of transitioning and teaching, financial literacy out in the community. We had conversations about money. I feel like most couples don't have a conversation about money.
Nah.
We talk about everything else. We can talk about you can talk about a million other things, but that one thing you never talk about, and that's the leading cause to divorces and breakups all the time. Is money. Yeah. So I feel like having that conversation for me with her was the biggest thing that we could have ever done, because it allowed us both to be transparent about what goals we had in mind, and how we were going to get there, and utilizing our financial resources. So,
how you going to take care of each other during that whole time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing for me. I would definitely say
that's the major key.
That's major.
Hey man, that's why he's the financial literacy guru. That's what I call you, man.
Listen, I call myself a financial education specialist. I don't want to be a guru.
You don't want to be a guru? All right,
I want to put a ceiling on myself.
All right, you're right.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, man.
So before y'all know, why don't we get dates for the Philly Financial Literacy Week?
Oh, thanks.
When's that actually?
So Philly Financial Literacy Week is the third week in October. So I'm going to give you dates.
Cool. And I'm ask you to send it so I can put it in the video. So
oh, okay. You want me to? Oh, okay. Cool,
yeah, I'll ask later.
Okay, cool.
But the dates are
October 14th through October the 19th.
19th?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, perfect. And any other questions you got?
None of it.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks.
No
Appreciate it, man.
I like it. This is literally my new favorite place.
We need more of this around the city.
Yes, a lot more.
Just from like we had the whole little Starbucks situation. It's like, well, the way you replace things is by creating like establishments like this. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to see more black coffee shops and
more
bookstores around the city.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like real dope.
Press button, subscribe. Y'all niggas need to subscribe. Go. No cat, bitch.
On to the next motherfucking video.